This was the very first printable I ever sold online for $5.75, and it changed absolutely everything for me. After I made my first sale, I basically created different variations of that design to generate more and more sales. This was the start of my six-figure digital product business and the reason why I was able to quit my 9-to-5 job. I had no marketing experience, and you can see my designs were very basic. So I want to share exactly what I did to get here and show you how this is 100% possible for you too. A few years ago, I was working at an engineering consulting firm, and I had just completed the 6-month probation period. My manager called me into his office for a performance review, and I was really excited because everyone around me was getting raises at the 6-month mark, and I had been working so hard. However, he told me that even though I was meeting my deadlines and no one had any complaints, I wasn't doing enough. He wanted me to put in overtime and take on even more projects to basically prove that I could go above and beyond. And with that, I didn't get a raise. Before this even happened, I already didn't enjoy engineering to begin with. I studied it in university and continued down that path because it felt safe and secure. But that moment made me realize how little control I actually had over my own income. No matter how hard I worked, someone else was deciding how much I was worth. And to be honest, being a woman in engineering wasn't easy for me back then. It was clear that men in the same role were earning more than I was, for no real reason. And that incident just magnified everything I was already feeling. I never wanted to feel that powerless again. And so that's when I started diving deep into side hustles. And honestly, I tried so many different ways to earn extra income on the side. One, because although I was working a stable job, I wasn't earning enough to support the lifestyle I envisioned for my family. So a side hustle could supplement my income. And two, my hope was to build up a side hustle that I was passionate about, just enough to eventually be able to leave my job. I even tried to pursue my fashion degree because yes, I took a short break from engineering in 2014 to study fashion design in Toronto, which was so much fun, but I was burning out from designing and sewing clothes for big fashion shows. Then I tried simply selling hair accessories, but even that was too much work for me alongside my job. So I decided to pursue freelance graphic design. I was creating stationery for weddings and other events like invitations, menus, seating charts, that sort of thing. Just from Instagram alone, I was fully booked with clients, which was great, but I also couldn't figure out how to scale the side hustle without burning out once again. And that's when I found Etsy. This is where I started doing some research on what other people were selling, what designs were performing well, and how many sales they were making. And I heavily considered what I would genuinely enjoy creating myself. So at that time, I landed on wall art because I loved designing it. Now, my creations were very basic, like quote wall art with some really nice fonts, book wall art, and fashion wall art, which were a few of the ones that became bestsellers for me at the time. You can probably see how easy it was to create them. I purchased most of the graphics and fonts from platforms like Creative Fabrica and Creative Market. I priced my printables around $6 to $7 each, and then eventually bundled them together in 6 pieces for $22. I remember when I got an Etsy notification that I made my first sale. I had to do a double take because I was in literal disbelief that someone on the internet that I didn't know not only found my product without me having to promote it, but actually decided to purchase it. I was so grateful to be receiving $5.75 for a printable that I genuinely enjoyed putting together. As I uploaded more and more designs, I knew I was onto something because I started seeing steady growth in my shop stats from $50 a month to $150, then $500, and it just kept building from there. But shortly after that, I ran into the same problem. Even though my Etsy shop was supplementing my full-time income, I realized that the only way for my sales to keep growing was for me to keep uploading more and more listings. And that took a lot of work. If I stopped creating new products, my income plateaued and even dipped. And don't get me wrong, there are sellers making a full-time income from Etsy, but I was working full-time and I had very little time after work to keep producing more and more $6 products. On top of that, although Etsy already has a huge audience coming to the platform every day, it can also get quite competitive with new sellers coming in every day. So as customers customers browse through listings on Etsy, your competitors are constantly showing up alongside your products. It's a great platform to get started on and get your first few sales, but I realized that I needed to build something of my own if I really wanted to scale beyond what I had. What Etsy did teach me was that people were absolutely willing to pay for digital products. And that was a huge realization for me. Even to this day, people ask me all the time, would someone really pay for a digital download? And the answer is yes, they do. There's obviously a lot of proof of that, considering how many successful digital download sellers there are. Anyway, I loved the idea of creating something once and selling it over and over again and generating passive income even when I wasn't actively working. And this was completely new for me because up until that point, I was used to working 8 hours a day in an office and only getting paid for the hours I put in that day. I just didn't love the idea of being stuck on a hamster wheel where I had to constantly upload new wall art designs just to make more money. It became exhausting after a while. So I started looking into other ways I could sell digital products beyond Etsy. That's when I came across educational resources, things like ebooks and mini courses, for example. Products where I could charge more, not because they were harder to make, but because they solved a bigger problem. At the time, I considered what I could even teach based on my experience. And since I had already figured out how to make my first few sales on Etsy, I knew I could help beginners do the same. That's when I created an ebook teaching exactly how to get started and make those first few digital download sales. And you can see how basic this ebook was. It was literally around 20 pages with a bunch of text and some graphics. I created it in Canva and charged $18 for it. Literally anyone can create something similar. It doesn't have to be long or fancy. It just has to provide valuable information based on your experience and what you can help people with. I see people telling me all the time that they feel like they can't teach anything. But keep in mind that you're not trying to change someone's entire life with your digital product. You're just helping them get to a place that you're at right now. For example, I wasn't trying to teach people how to make $100,000 on Etsy. I was trying to help beginners make their first few sales. So hopefully that takes the pressure off a bit. Also, if you want to sell educational digital products like ebooks, for example, you can grab my free 36-page PDF guide that's all about how to create a digital product people actually want. That'll be linked for you in the description box below. At the same time, I started my YouTube channel, which was in 2020, because I needed a place where I could show up consistently, share helpful content every week, attract new people into my world, and grow my email list. I wanted to build a system of my own where I could sell educational digital products alongside my Etsy shop, instead of relying on just one platform. So after uploading a few videos, I had grown a very small email list that I eventually promoted my $18 ebook to. And this is something I recommend to every single person getting started with selling digital products. Have a way to consistently build your email list. Whether that's through YouTube, Pinterest, or Instagram, you want a system that regularly brings in new traffic and new people into your world. For me, I wanted to start a YouTube channel for two main reasons. First, I knew it could eventually create additional passive income streams like AdSense and affiliate income. And second, I knew it would push me out of my comfort zone. I used to have a lot of social anxiety, and showing up on camera to connect with people all over the world really pushed me to grow in ways I never expected. So for a few months, I was generating on average $3,000 a month from selling my Etsy printables, my ebook, and I started making a little money from YouTube AdSense as well. It felt amazing to supplement my full-time income with this extra money. We were able to afford some renovations we needed in our house, and we took an extra trip that year. So it was literally making a difference in my lifestyle. However, I still wasn't at the stage where I could leave my job yet. Around that time, I started working at a different company, but it came with basically the same chaos. I had anxiety almost every day going into work, juggling multiple projects, communicating with clients, and then coming home and somehow trying to find the time and energy to grow or even just sustain my digital product business. And I was desperate to keep on scaling it because I knew in my heart that this was going to be the thing that set me free. So I would spend extra hours on evenings and weekends building more digital products that would complement the ebooks I was offering, like Canva templates, Google Doc templates, and even mini courses. And even though I was generating an average of $8,000 to $10,000 a month, I was still so conditioned to staying in in a full-time job after doing it for so many years. I was so scared to leave because it had always been my stable and predictable source of income until in 2023, I experienced the biggest health scare of my life. I had just given birth to our son, and this isn't a story I share often, but it truly was the turning point for me. I developed a severe infection that took months to recover from, and I'm still dealing with the long-term consequences because of it. During that time, everything slowed down in a way that it never had before. I was forced to rest a lot, and I was forced to reflect. And for the first time, I really started questioning my lifestyle and what I truly wanted, especially now that I was a mom. That experience made me realize just how short and fragile life really is and how little control we actually have if we keep postponing the life we want to build. I kept thinking back to where this all started with that first side hustle, that first $6 printable I created in Canva, and how far I had come since then. I had already proven to myself over and over again that this worked. Selling digital products worked for me, and I just needed that push to put all my focus and energy into what I loved. And I realized that I was never going to feel ready. There was never going to be a perfect moment, a perfect amount of savings, or a perfect level of certainty. I also knew there was no way I could juggle my life as a mom, having a full-time job, and running a business, all while dealing with my new health problems. So after my maternity leave ended in January of 2025, I made the decision to quit my engineering job and run my digital product business full-time. And if you're thinking, well, that's great, Sandra, but that's just not going to work for me. Trust me, I used to think the exact same thing. I looked at experts online and would make excuses as to why they were so successful and why I couldn't get there. But if you actually look back at my story, I didn't have a marketing degree or a bunch of savings that I could lean on. I had my laptop, my genuine excitement for creating digital products, and the mindset to keep me going even when some things didn't work the first time around. And I want to be really clear about something because you might be questioning what you should do right now based on your current situation. If you currently have a job, I actually don't recommend you quit before you've built up your side hustle. When you're building a digital product business alongside a stable income, there's so much less pressure on you. You actually get to enjoy it because you're not relying on it to pay your bills yet, which gives you the space to experiment, learn, and have fun with it. That's also why starting with a low-ticket digital product, something like a $6 or $7 printable, can be such a powerful first step. It helps you get comfortable selling, and it builds the confidence you need to scale it. It gives you that proof that people are willing to pay for what you create. And from there, you can start to scale, creating higher ticket digital products that complement those smaller offers instead of jumping straight into something big before you're ready. If you want to sell educational digital products and helpful resources like ebooks, templates, workshops, or courses, make sure to grab my free 36-page PDF guide called How to Create a Digital Product People Actually Want. That'll be linked for you in the description box. You can watch this video next where I share all the mistakes I made selling digital products so you don't have to. I'll see you there.